Yo guys, I just wanted to do a video speaking about something that was very important to me growing up, and it was 5 mindset shifts that changed the way that I perceived life. For me growing up, I had a lot of internal battles. Like, my internal monologue was stronger than everyone else my own age, and I always felt like growing up that I was the only person that thought the way that I did. And I remember saying it to my mum. Me and my mum were very close growing up, so I used to speak to her about these things all the time. And I always used to ask, like, why does no one else think the way that I do? Why does nobody else have these same problems? And why does everyone else seem to just swim through life so simply? And it was until I learned these mindset shifts and these laws that I call inside my community the 5 laws of ethos. Once I started to understand these things, and the fact that not everybody perceives things in the same way, just because I feel something in a certain manner and I might react to it in a certain way, somebody else could feel the exact same thing and they could just react to it differently. If I was to give you an example, right, growing up in school, I could have liked a girl, and because that girl didn't give me the confirmation that I needed, I would think that she didn't like me. Or maybe I would try to speak to her and she wouldn't really give me that much attention or any eye contact, and that would make me think that this girl didn't like me, when in actual fact the way that she dealt with the situation of liking someone was different. She was a little bit more insecure, she was a little bit more shy. So 2 people that truly liked each other, me and this other girl, would never end up being together because I let my own brain get the better of me. Maybe I wanted to join a club, for example, or I wanted to join the football team at school, and it was already full, and I was always the last person to everything growing up. I remember I was always fucking late to everything. I would automatically assume that I wasn't welcome there. I would always do this with situations. I would automatically assume that I wasn't welcome somewhere because I wasn't there first, or I wasn't one of the original people, so I would avoid it. In turn, I would end up missing out on so many of the things that I would have loved to have done as a kid. So I wanted to make this video about what I call the 5 laws of ethos, so that if anyone else watching can relate to any of these laws in any part of their life, it doesn't matter what it is. It could be in business, it could be your home life, it could be with your friends, in the gym, in your own mind. These can help you in some way. Your brain lies to you. Not believing every single thing that you think in your mind is true is the single most powerful thing that you can achieve. You think that you are seeing reality. You're not. You're seeing your version of it. A perfect example is when I was a kid, growing up, my dad was very, very strict. He was like a drill sergeant, right? Jamaican dad. If you know about Jamaican dads, then you know. He was very, very strict. If he tells me to jump, I ask how high, and if I don't, then I get a conk on the head. But growing up, he always used to make me do this thing. So we'd be walking down the street, and you know, if you're walking down a busy road and sometimes you see someone coming towards you and you're going towards them, so you both move out the way a little bit to be considerate. Sometimes people don't do that, and if you don't move out the way, they'll end up bashing straight into you. Well, my dad told me and enforced it into my brain: if somebody doesn't move out the way for you, you don't move out the way for them. So I was a 13-year-old kid walking around bodying these old men and smashing into people on the street, when in actual fact I had no reason to. My dad's mentality was, well, they've disrespected me, so I'm going to disrespect them back. And because of that, I grew up thinking that anyone around me that didn't consider my space or didn't consider my feelings or was a little bit funny with me had a problem, and I thought they was disrespecting me. And because of this, I used to fight all the time. Like, if somebody disrespected me, it took no more than 2 words before I would start swinging. So as a kid, I used to fight all the time, but I was wrong. And just because my dad taught me a certain way, I grew up believing that for such a long time. I was believing my perception of what something actually is, when in actual fact, some people just aren't aware of the surroundings, or some people just don't see what they're doing as disrespect. Your brain isn't a camera, it's a storyteller, and it has to interpret the story based on your beliefs, based on your fears and presumptions of things that would happen to you. And this all comes from how you was wired, like how you've been programmed in your upbringing. Even you will know this, that your memories, they're not like perfect recordings, are they? They're like reconstructions, like vivid things that you can piece together. And this is why you can never remember things completely and factually as they were. Two people could go to the exact same event and walk out with two completely different point of views on what happened, and they will both think that they are right. If you ever walk away from a conversation and you catch yourself thinking, did that annoy them, or did I sound stupid when I say this, and you start spiraling with all these questions, you will never have them answered. You don't know the answer for certain. So the only thing that your brain can do is make up a presumption based off of what you believe about yourself. This is the prime example of your brain lies to you, because it's confirming something that nobody knows to be true. The one thing that I have always done to try and fight against my own brain lying to me, my own brain confirming things that I don't know to be true, is whenever I walk away from a situation thinking, did they think this, or should I have done that, or anytime I'm thinking about doing something and I'm scared of what the outcome might be, I will ask myself, is that the truth, or is that just an answer that I have made up myself? So if it's a conversation you had with somebody and you don't think it went the right way, ask yourself, is that the truth, or is this just something I've made up? And write down how you would have wanted that conversation to go, and believe that instead. You are not who you think you are. You are just who you've practiced being. I feel like a lot of people watching this video will be able to relate with me on this one, because it's such a weird thing to say, you are not who you think you are. You are just who you've practiced being. Growing up, I was always called super hyperactive, destructive, undisciplined, just like a maniac. I was a very nuts kid and diagnosed with ADHD and kicked out of all my classes in school. The teachers always loved me, but they just always said that I was destructive and I couldn't sit still. So I always related those things to myself for a very long time, like I'm just this bullish, crazy guy who has no patience at all. And as I grew older and actually took the time to practice being patient, or maybe change the way that I thought about something, I realised that I found it really easy. Like, if anything, I am a pretty patient person. If people tell you something about yourself for a long enough time, you will end up believing it yourself. It's like a cage that is built by your environment. Identity isn't a fixed label. People change all the time. It's more like a living feedback loop based off of your habits or your roles or your beliefs that you reinforce every single day. Every single action that you make daily is a vote for the kind of person that you want to become. And when you act in line with an identity that you've been given, your brain strengthens the pathway towards becoming that person. I'm not a morning person. I'm shy. I'm bad with money, people, consistency. Acting out or telling yourself these things every single day strengthen that identity. You're not defined by your past failures or things that you've done throughout your life. Every single day is a chance for you to start voting for the person that you want to become. You are in control of your own identity. So yeah, you could go to the gym and train 3 times. It doesn't mean that you're fit, but now you've started voting for the identity of the guy who is somebody that trains. The person that you want to become is built one habit at a time, not all at once. So this week, Do something that goes against the identity of who you are. If there's something new that you want to try, do it. Do something that the old version of you wouldn't, and cast a vote towards that new identity. You are wired for emotion. Emotion is something that is always going to be there. Anger, jealousy, envy, lust, these feelings are always going to be apparent in your life. But you are also built to regulate it. And if you try and live your whole life fighting off feelings or not accepting them and exploring, why do I feel this way? Or this girl didn't reply to my message, why do I feel this sense of hatred? Or one of my friends doesn't want to hang out with me today, why do I feel like this? If you don't explore those feelings, you will never grow as a person. Every man needs to understand why something makes him feel a certain type of way. When I was growing up, I used to feel disrespected by the smallest of things. Somebody could just not invite me to their party, or maybe someone played a prank on me or something. I would always think, how can they do this to me? I used to be a real party pooper for a good few years growing up, I remember, because I just used to feel so disrespected by everything. And until I really started to dig deep into why these things made me feel this way, I was just stuck with emotions that I couldn't regulate. The real strength lies in being able to explain your emotions and even tell yourself in your own mind why you feel a certain type of way. Real strength lies in being able to articulate it to another person, or even just to yourself, why you feel a certain type of way, why somebody else's actions or an experience makes you feel a type of way, and look at that emotion as an observer, not as somebody that's been attacked by it. That is where real strength lies, not being hijacked by your feelings. There'll have been a time where you snapped at somebody and just wished that you didn't say anything at all, that you just kept it in, or maybe you started something new and you weren't that good at it, so you felt embarrassed and you just quit straight away and told everyone that, nah, it wasn't for me, I didn't really enjoy it. And you look back and you just wish that you stuck to it, or you let one moment in the day just derail the rest of your plans. We've all been there, we've all done it. You can't delete emotions, you can't just uninstall them from your body. You have to live with them, but you can't let them be the master. So whenever anything happens like this and you feel like you need to react in the moment, just name it. Okay, I'm embarrassed right now. Why exactly am I embarrassed about this thing? Why is this thing so embarrassing? Is it because of the people watching me? Is it because I feel incapable? Sit with the emotion rather than letting it hijack you. This is how you start to live intentionally. What you avoid controls you. And it is crazy how something that feels like relief in the moment actually just causes constant strain on everything else that you do in your life. A difficult conversation, starting something that you don't want to do. For me, I remember the worst one was when I was with a girl that I really didn't want to be with anymore. And I knew that I needed to have the conversation to break up with her, but I could never bring myself to do it. And every single day that I delayed this process, I couldn't concentrate or focus on doing anything else. So it actually took up more of my mental capacity and took up more of my physical capacity than it would have done if I just got it done straight away. Avoiding something for temporary comfort is just going to cause more discomfort in the long run. Your brain learns by repetition, right? So if you're constantly avoiding things, constantly avoiding the hard conversations, constantly avoiding starting something new, you're going to teach your brain that that's where comfort is. You will never ever grow if you avoid the difficult things. Every time you avoid something, you're training your brain to expect fear. In this life, discomfort is the strongest signal that something is about to shift. So the longer that you leave that awkward text, that awkward conversation, or the longer you delay starting the gym or getting your diet right, the more impossible it will feel. In this life, discomfort is the strongest signal that something is about to shift, that you are growing. So the longer you leave that awkward text or that awkward conversation, or the longer you put off starting the gym or getting your diet right, the more impossible it feels. Whatever it is that you avoid, you hand over control to that exact thing. You have to lean into the discomfort and reassure your brain that you're okay with it, because what you avoid controls you. And your nervous system, our bodies, are designed to adapt. They're designed to make the hard things that you do naturally feel easier. It's not about being fearless. It's about building that clarity and self-trust. And to do that, you have to act while the fear is still there. That's how you build courage. That's how you build real confidence. So if you can think of one thing that you know you've been avoiding, after this video, go and do it. Choose the smallest form of whatever that thing is and just do it. Even if it only chips off 1% progress towards it, just get your body and your nervous system used to doing that thing. The wandering mind. Now, the reason that I laugh when it comes to this one is I truly believe, right, that your attention is one of your most valuable resources, and where you place it truly dictates not just how your day is going to go, but how your life's going to go. And even for me, as much as I practice or I've created tools to help me focus on things, I am still not the best at this. For me, it is really difficult to keep my mind focused on just one thing for a long period of time. But all we can do is be aware of that and use things to help us focus. For me, turning notifications off on my phone when I'm focusing on a task, or let's say I need to edit a video, I will close all the other tabs on my laptop and just focus on that one thing. Because most people don't realize that the reason they're not getting anything done is because there's too many scattered thoughts taking them to loads of different places. As I got older, I started to realize that focus isn't a trait. It isn't just something that some people naturally have or some people don't. It's a skill. And every time you let your mind wander off to a notification on your phone, or to like a worry, or to a different thought, you are training it that that's okay. As I've got older, I've realized that focus isn't a trait, it's a skill. And yeah, there are people out there that are just unbelievable at staying focused, at staying locked in. I don't know how they do it. Like people that can read a whole book in one day. It's amazing to me. But every time you let your brain wander away to a notification or to a thought or a worry or something else that's irrelevant to what you're doing, you are technically training it that that's okay. What I've had to learn to do is direct it back. What I've had to learn to do is to take control of it. And the more times that you do this, and every time your brain wanders off to a different place, if you can master bringing it back, even if it's 10, 15, 20, 100 times, you strengthen that control. Maybe you've started one task on your laptop and you've ended up with 10 tabs, or the task that you're trying to do is too difficult, so every time it gets hard you keep reaching for your phone, or you have to reread the same sentence 3 times. It doesn't matter. A wandering mind isn't broken, it's just untrained. Focus it's a muscle, so you have to strengthen it through repetition. And once you master it and actually strengthen that focus, discipline and habits become more consistent, and small distractions don't just snowball into chaos, and even little decisions just become clearer. You can retrain your attention span the same way that we have let modern day society and modern day technology slowly ruin it. You can retrain attention the exact same way that we've let scrolling on social media and modern day society technically ruin it. So identify whatever your biggest focus drain is, whatever it is that takes your attention away the most, whether it's your phone or whether it's other people that are around you. Get rid of them, even if it's just for 10 minutes, and spend those 10 minutes on whatever the most important task you have in your life right now. Whatever is a priority for you, spend those focused 10 minutes on exactly that thing, and you will notice the difference. So yeah, they are the 5 laws of ethos. 5 things that I learned one by one over time that made me realize that I wasn't just a weirdo or that I wasn't broken. Because sometimes that is how you feel when you can't do things that you feel like everybody else can. And that is the main reason why I created the House of Ethos. I have put over a year of hard work and effort and filled it with as much information as I can, so that like-minded individuals and men like you can join this community and we can all work on something together. They are the 5 laws of ethos. So if you are somebody that's working towards building their mind, their body, their ideal life, come and join a community of other men trying to achieve that exact same thing, where I have bundled over 10 years of my own experience in this world and when it comes to training and nutrition, and put it all under one roof into simple, practical frameworks so that you guys can use it for yourself. If that sounds like a place where you can build and help others achieve their goals, then you are more than welcome in. I would love to have you a part of the community. If not, then no hard feelings. If you have made it this far through the video anyway, then thanks for watching. But if you are interested in the community, I'll leave it in the description below.